So the headlines around what AI is, we're not going to go into the technicalities of it. We're not going to go too deep. If you're interested in that, we can hold another workshop, we can explore it, or you can explore it independently. But really, it's about identifying how it can help you. And then, as I said earlier, we're really focused on the business application. So how can AI save you time and money? How can it improve your productivity? How can it improve and enhance your customer service? And so much more. So we're going to give you some demonstrations on how it works, what it can do, and hopefully you'll learn something. If you've been playing with ChatGPT already, you probably know a chunk of what we're going to show you, but hopefully there'll be something in there that's new to you, a little nugget for you to take away. And then finally, our third objective is really to get you started using AI immediately, understanding how you can do that and leveraging it for your business. I hope that sits well with everybody. Maya, anything else to add about our objectives?
Nope, that's pretty much it. We want to get you all started as soon as you can, and just not even think about it as something to worry about. Just go in there and start playing.
Exactly. Okay, so let's start off with what is AI. Wikipedia says in its broadest sense it's an intelligence exhibited by machines, particularly computer systems. Well, yes, basically artificial intelligence says it as it is. The AI stands for artificial intelligence, and in effect we're going to refer to that intelligence, that knowledge, that superpower almost, as the AI brain for the purposes of this, because I think that's something that we can all relate to more. So AI stands for artificial intelligence, and in the back end is the brain and the intelligence, which is the LLM, the large language model, that is basically fed from all the public available knowledge banks that there are. And it's growing in intelligence all the time over the course of the last few years. For example, ChatGPT has released a number of models which have all become more and more intelligent. There's more depth and more capability and more knowledge that's been applied into the system. And these LLMs, these brains, are accessed from via interfaces such as ChatGPT, which is something that I'm sure that you've either played with or have heard about. And there are a number of similar interfaces onto different language models. Google has its own, Microsoft has its own, Amazon's released its own, Meta, Facebook has released their own. So there's a lot of them out there, and they all pretty much do the same thing, some a bit better in some areas than others. But we're going to really focus on the first one that came out that most people are familiar with, and that's ChatGPT. So yes, the AI brain is like a black box. It's the knowledge bank that sits behind that is the intelligence, and it's referred to generally as LLMs, the large language models, and they sit behind the likes of ChatGPT, which is our access, our way to get into that intelligence. So really, all I wanted to say is that there's a huge database from all the public information that's out there, and we're going to refer to that as the AI brain, because that makes it more understandable. And in fact, AI has been available for years. We're using it with Alexa on Amazon. We're using it on Siri on our phones. We're using it. Facebook has got intelligence around it, which pops up content that it thinks that we'll find useful. All of that is AI, and it has been around for years. It's just in the last couple of years that it's become available to us to basically access more directly, and that's what we're going to show you today. Right, so moving on. Right, so what can the AI brain do? Now, the AI brain can do lots of different things. It can, now my presentation is showing everything at once, but basically it can create content for you, be that visual content or be that copywriting and words. And that's what most people have been familiar with and how they're using it. But you can analyze data. It can learn, and it will continue to learn on the data that you're giving it. It can reason, plan, report, and predict, forecast based on trends. So if it's given a whole load of data and it can amass a whole load of data very, very quickly, it can really make sense of that data and analyze it for you. And it can do this faster, probably better than most people. Consistently, because it's obviously automated, it will consistently perform in the same way. It works obviously 24/7, so it's available anytime, and probably cheaper than a human resource could to do it. And in fact, the AI brain is infinitely smarter than all of us combined, because it has all that knowledge in it, and it can do things at the blink of the eye. So AI works in such a way that you have the knowledge bank in the middle, just like our brain. It needs an input, it needs a request, it needs to know what it is that you want from it, and then it produces an output. And that input can be a text, a written form, like you're typing on WhatsApp or Messenger, and basically you can talk to it in that way. Or you can upload images to it and it can make sense of those images. Or you could talk to it. Or you could upload videos and it can summarize those videos and transcribe those videos, or do various things to that. You can upload URLs from the web, and it can take in the information that's available from that URL. You can upload documents directly to it, and that would enable it to make sense of the document. And it does this in a fraction of a second. A multi-page document will take however long it will take for a human being to read it, whereas AI will literally absorb that information almost instantly. You can input software code, and it will understand all of that. And on the flip side, once you've given it a request, given it an input, it will generate an output for you. And that output could similarly be in the form of written text in responses to your messages, in a voice form, in response to your voice, in a visual creative form, creating an image or a video or a document, or actually software program code. And a lot of companies now are actually turning towards AI to be their software developers, because it's probably smarter than any coder out there. So AI is a huge super intelligence, and you get out of it the best result based on making sure that you put in your request in the right way. So the input and output is important, and it's important to understand the different ways in which you can ask for information and the different things that it can produce. So common outputs for a business. So for example, it can produce text. That means you can give it information about your business. It can write the copy for your website. It can write blog posts and articles. It can write social media posts. It can respond to emails. It can respond to reviews online. It can create written copy. It can also create images. You can ask it for a particular type of image. So maybe you wanted a cat sitting on a beach sipping a cocktail in sunglasses or something, or you wanted an image of someone working hard on their computer. All whatever you wanted, actually, you just describe it, ask for it, and it will deliver. The same thing for a video, which is a newer feature, maybe not as flexible at the moment, but it's growing. It's the ability of the AI models is advancing rapidly. And also, we all heard that it's going to take away all of our jobs. It can do all of our work. Well, the idea behind AI is really it's your assistant, it's your helper. It can do the stuff that you want it to do, and basically take away those repetitive tasks like that you do on a regular basis. Maybe in your business you get many phone calls, and everyone, not everybody, but most people are asking the same kind of thing. Well, you can get an AI voice assistant to answer your calls for you and train them up to have all the knowledge that you need them to have to be able to answer those calls and transfer them to you if they're unable to answer that call, or to maybe book appointments for you. And, that would save so much time. Responding automatically to emails that come in. I mean, how much time do we sit in front of our email? If it's trained with all the right information, it can be your assistant, and it can do this very quickly and very easily, freeing up hours potentially of your time in the day. And then the one area that is actually really, perhaps businesses don't use this as much, and this is about analysing and reporting. AI can research for you, can research new markets that you want to go into, find out what other people are doing. It can even give you ideas on opportunities that might exist. It can create a plan for you. It can summarize content for you. It can analyze and predict, and it can report on large volumes of data, upload documents to it, and it will understand it instantly. Ask it information about those documents, and it will be able to respond for you. So in essence, the AI brain, that super intelligence that exists, is like a super brain, like a superhuman that has pretty much most of the intelligence that exists in the world. And you just need to communicate with it in that way. We're going to show you that now, and it's there to help you. There's no need to be scared of it. It's actually your friend. Maya, anything else to add on that section? Maya?
Sorry, I was on mute as usual. Just remember that AI is your friend. It's your super smart friend, but it's also your friend who takes everything you say literally. So, it can jump to assumptions as to what you mean, and then you will get an answer that's not quite what you wanted. But again, like you talk with your friend, you can explain, no, that's not what I meant. That's it.
Okay. So been lots of talking there. Probably you're falling to sleep by now. We're going to start to actually show you some of the examples and practical business applications so you can see it in action. And hopefully that will spark some interest in terms of, what you can do, how you can use it for your business. So for those that have not accessed ChatGPT before, you can access it through chatgpt.com. If you haven't got an account, you would just need to input an email and a password, and then verify that account on your email, and then away you go. There are different tiers. The first tier is free, and basically, it is limited to some extent, but it's probably more than enough for most people, especially when they're getting started. You'll see, as you go up the tiers, you will get more features, and you'll get a more unlimited use to it. But that's really the main difference. And we're going to start with, we're going to look at ChatGPT. We're not going to cover the other LLMs, the large language models, the AI brains that exist out there, but they all work in pretty similar way. So if you see how it works for ChatGPT, you can try the same processes with the others. And when you get more details into it, you'll realize that actually some of them are slightly better at certain tasks than others. But for now, we're talking about AI basics, and it's really about understanding what ChatGPT can do. So Maya, you're going to do the ChatGPT demonstration?
Yep, but I think you need to let me be a co-host.
Yep, I'm going to do that. So I will stop sharing now, and I will move you on to...
Can anyone see my screen other than myself?
Okay, let me just share. You should be able to
Okay,
share your
let me
screen.
stop.
Yep, we can see your screen, Maya.
All right, let's try that again. Share one more time, and hopefully you can see this.
Yep, we can see your screen.
Perfect. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to go in, and for those of you who haven't got into ChatGPT yet, let's take a quick look at what it does. You can come right here. This is an incognito window, so it doesn't know who I am. I can start typing, help me build my business, and it will probably ask you some questions, right? And it goes off and it starts asking you all kinds of questions, trying to hold your hand. If you want, you can sign up. And you just give it an email address. It's got Alliance. And you can create a password for it, whatever. And that's pretty much it. It will send you a verification email. You verify and you're done. Now I'm going to just go into my existing account, start with a brand new chat. And again, since this is, okay, one thing I'll point out, which is unusual, is that if you're a paid member, it sometimes will default to the 01 version, and you will see that you do not have create image there, which can get frustrating. So just remember, if you want to create images, it's in 4.0. For now, I'm going to start with, let's say I have a cleaning business. I run a cleaning business. You need to tell ChatGPT what you are. Give it some background. Name is, okay. I don't know why I'm John, but today I'm John. John's Cleaning Services. I need a flyer for my business. My brand colors are and white, black text. So something pretty basic, right? I mean, this is not very much information. Let's go see what it can do. And there you go. Like you saw, it took seconds. Heading, okay, perfect. Tells you what services you offer, call to action. And then it's also looking at what could be on the back, which is an interesting idea. It's giving you a little bit of a coupon, a discount. You can include some testimonials in there, follow on social media. And what I would like to do is, since I am in 4.0, I can create an image. We said, ChatGPT can text, image. I don't think it can do video yet. Anyway, so I've got this flyer. I can take it, put it on a document, print it out, but I would like an image to go with it. Create an image to go with this flyer. It should show a cleaner, a mop and bucket, and again, keep to our brand colors. Show a clean home. Okay. You could, of course, go into software like Canva and create it there. But again, if you're inside ChatGPT and you've got the option, might as well see what it comes up with. There you go. Not bad. I mean, the proportions are a little off, but I'm being picky here. But that's not a bad image. Another thing you can do is you can use voice, right? So there we go. Hi, I've got a business called John's Cleaning Services. It's currently catering to homeowners. I'd like to get into the corporate market. How do I do that? Where can I find clients?
Sorry, I came in a bit late, by the way. Quick question. Is this the paid ChatGPT?
It's available on both paid and free.
Okay, thank you. So I've tried doing some images sometimes on the paid one, and it comes out with, no, we can't do this on the free version for some reason.
I'm sorry, what can you not do on the free version?
Sometimes I've tried creating images like you just did, and it sometimes says, no, we can't do this.
I thought it was on the free version also, the 4.0. Pretty
I don't
sure you
know.
can. Let's take that offline.
Okay.
When I just did the chat, did you hear the chat respond to me, folks? Anyone? Or did it not? Okay, try that again. Share sound. And share that. Okay, Karen, let me know if you're hearing sound from the computer. I have a cleaning business that's currently catering to homeowners. I would like to break into the corporate market. How do I do that? Where do I find clients?
The transition into the corporate market, you can start by building connections, network at business events, and join local chambers of commerce. This will help you meet potential corporate clients. Leveraging existing clients. Ask your current clients for referrals or if they have contacts in the corporate sector. Online presence. Ensure your website and social media highlight your ability to handle corporate clients. Direct outreach. Identify businesses that might need your services and reach out with tailored proposals. Offering promotions. Consider introductory rates or special packages to attract corporate clients initially. Need more detailed steps on any of these?
Where do I find these people? And why would they talk to someone small like me? I can't even get homeowners to leave me a review on Google.
Finding corporate clients might feel challenging, but there are effective ways to approach it. 1. Identify potential clients. Look for local businesses, office buildings, or commercial properties that might need cleaning services. You can find leads through online business directories or by visiting business parks and office complexes. 2. Networking. Attend industry events, join local business groups, and become a member of your local chamber of commerce. This helps you connect with decision makers in the corporate world. 3. Cold outreach. Reach out directly to businesses via email or phone. Highlight how your services can address their specific needs. 4. Showcase your value. Emphasize your personalized service and attention to detail. Smaller companies often offer more personalized and flexible service, which can be a strong selling point. 5. Ask for reviews. Encourage satisfied homeowners to leave reviews by offering incentives or simply asking politely. Positive reviews can build credibility. Remember, your personalized approach and quality service can set you apart. Would you like help crafting a specific outreach message?
Not right now, thank you. Okay, so there that was. One other thing that Karen had mentioned was that ChatGPT can now actually analyze data. So for example, I have here some data for an e-commerce company that sells stuff, right? So we've got customer records, where they live. We don't always have their age clearly. Actually, we do. The dates, the headings are off. And we've got what their order value was, what categories they're buying in, all of that. So I'm going to go into ChatGPT and say, let's upload that document. Can you analyze this data to tell me what category is the most popular and what's the average? Sorry, I can't see my screen. I'm going to use a techie term, AOV. Let's see if it can understand that. It's thinking. This little square icon indicates that. It's also telling me here that it's thinking, analyzing. And like a good little student, it actually shows you its work as it's going. Look at that. Yes, please. What's the highest order value? What's the state with the highest average order value? And again, it thinks for a bit. Now you realize it's thinking, it feels like we're waiting, but again, it's looking through all this data and it's giving you, no, that's not a state. It's a little bit confused. Say it's not a state. Have a location. All right. Phrase that. What's the location with the highest average value? So as I was saying, it feels like it's taking a second or two, but remember, if you're a human being and you're trying to do this, you'd be mucking around with Excel, trying to sort the data, arrange it, organize it, slice it, and dice it. Okay, it's not believing me today that we need an actual state. Fine. But, you know, typically if your column headings are correct, it should be able to do that. And based on that, what other electronics can I offer to increase the AOV? AOV, of course, is average order value. There we go. So offer, you know, things like this. So if you have an e-commerce store, this is useful, right? Because you're selling one thing and you start thinking laterally, like, what else can I do? What other businesses I partner with to refer clients to and get referrals from. So basically, again, just use it as your friend. It will give you all the information you ask for. But if you don't ask, it cannot help you. So here it's telling me, go with people like that, go with interior designers, go with property management companies, real estate agents, all of that. Okay. And this, by the way, it has, if you notice, it has gone back to the cleaning scenario because it understood that I was talking about electronics only as a sample. Okay, so that is the basics of using ChatGPT. On the left bar, you will also see something called Explore GPTs. And in here, you can literally search for whatever you want, and you will find a whole bunch of these GPTs in here. We've made one. Karen, was it Bright Ideas? Nope, that wasn't it. Shoot.
It is Bright Ideas, Mo.
Oh.
But it's not available. I'm not sure it's available to everybody, so you need to look at it there.
Oh, there we go. I have it. Yeah. So I have used it before. And again, here we've got some basics. It shows you, you know, I need some social media post ideas, write a funny Facebook post. What kind of post do my Instagram audience like? It's a little helper. It is still ChatGPT under this, but it's playing the role of a social media assistant. That's all it is. Karen's created this little tool to do that. I'm just going to say, write a funny Facebook post. Cleaning service.
Sorry, can you explain what this is again? So these are available to everyone apart from your...
Yes.
And how do you access them?
You, on the left menu, you go in here and you look at Explore GPTs. Right?
So these are groups that you can join, is that right? Or ask questions?
It's not a group. It's literally a small tool.
Okay.
And when I open it, when I click that, it comes up here to GPTs. And it's got some featured ones. It tells you which ones are trending. I mean, Canva is obviously very popular. There are some that ChatGPT themselves have made. Other people have made these other ones. And you can actually, like I said, go ahead, Karen.
I was just saying, so these are called custom GPTs, and they're basically like a wrapper over and on top of the standard ChatGPT. So they've been customized and tailored to have certain take certain roles or do certain functions and do certain things. So instead of asking more broadly of ChatGPT, these are customized so that they will be a lot more specific and probably provide you with a better results. But they've been created by those people that are pro users, and they have been, you know, tailored, and a lot of them are actually visible and available for you to just access yourself. This one I've created, we'll send you a link to it, so it'll help you create social media posts and come up with ideas and that kind of thing for you. But this is just an example of something that you can access. You know, it's free.
Yeah, I guess, so the bright idea is, I guess, if Maya asks the same question that she asked her own private chat GPT, does it give you the same response, or is this kind of more tailored to bright business ideas, so the responses would be different, or it's okay? Well, I can go and investigate. I just wanted to know whether.
Yeah, I mean, play with it. I haven't tested if I put it in the normal GPT versus the this particular tool, but this tool has been it's been customized so to ask certain questions, so it's got as much information as it needs in order to give you the best response. Whereas ChatGPT will take what you're giving it, and unless you're asking for it to kind of clarify and get more information from you, it won't ask you for more information. It'll just basically work off whatever requests that you make of it. So these are customized and they're elevated above what ChatGPT would do in its own right.
Yeah, customizing, I guess, they're specialist to business ideas, or I saw Python, which is a programming language. So I guess that's what it is, right? They're specialisms.
Exactly. And you on here, you've got, I mean, as Maya showed you earlier, there's a huge database of loads and loads of tools which can be used for all sorts of things. For example, I've created one to tell us a joke, a family-friendly joke. You know, you can create ones for your to help you out on your to-do list, or all sorts of different things. So goal setting, different things like that. And you just search it and you can explore. Here Maya's showing you now the breadth of the information that's available. If you just look on the top there, you can see top picks, fitness, all sorts of things.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and take your time and play with this, because this is where you can really find useful tools. We obviously haven't had the time to explore every single tool out there. There's some that are really good, some that are, you know, just someone experimenting. So that's why I think ChatGPT is now asking us to rate these. So soon they'll start bubbling up and you'll start figuring out which ones are actually more popular. Anyway, that does it for my summary. I'll just go back and show you what the bright ideas came up.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, does this work the other way around? And what I mean by that is when we're using ChatGPT, is it automatically sort of like monitoring our questions and using them to generate these things for ChatGPT Explore?
It's learning from you all the time, yes. So anything you're putting in here, assume that it's going to be using it to train itself. If I go back into ChatGPT, I'm just going into the basic chat. You'll see here there's a temporary chat. That's like incognito mode on your browser. If you do that, whatever you do, it will not stay in the history. It will not be used to train our models. Does that make sense?
It does.
One other thing you can do is if you go for the $20 pricing, it still defaults to learning from your interactions. But if you go for the $25 one, that's not advertised, but when you're in the $20 one, you can say upgrade. And in here, if I go to business, there's a team version. And this one by default does not train on your system, on your data. So you can think about that, but it's, you know, $5 more per month.
Okay. So if I wanted to research things that are specific, how can I put it? If I wanted to look up things that I feel like are sort of like proprietary to my business and I didn't want like competitors to automatically see the things I'm looking at.
If it's top secret, I would say still leave it out of ChatGPT, out of any of these AI models. But again, I mean, there's only so much you can hide, right? If you're in, for example, the healthcare space and you're worried, in the US, there's the HIPAA rules. I wouldn't use ChatGPT in a HIPAA situation. I would get a local LLM, train it locally, and that way, nobody outside your organization will have access to that. Sorry, that was a little technical. I'm a geek. So, and that's the end of my part of the presentation. Karen, back to you. We are running close to time. We have
okay, one thing that you didn't show was actually how it can instantly create articles and blog ideas. And I think that might be a really good thing to see, because it's just like it can do something that takes hours of your time instantly.
Is a very, very good point. So I'm going back into my little, what was it? Was it Bright Ideas? Nope. Where was I? Flyer design.
Janet's cleaning services.
And you, beg your pardon?
There's tab, Janet's cleaning services. Oh yeah, that's fine. Sorry.
That was yesterday's chat.
No.
Yes. Some ideas for blog posts for my cleaning service. So this is where we usually get stuck, right? We're going like, what can I talk about? I don't know. Because as a cleaner yourself, you know everything and you think everybody knows it, but they don't. I like 5 tips. I like number 3. It's too long. Can you please generate a 500-word blog about this? And again, 500 words doesn't sound like a lot, but it typically takes time. All right, so there you go. It's happily telling you, and this is all happening like as I'm talking, it's already done. So think about if you took an hour, 2 hours a day, a week to set up, 2 blog posts, which it could easily take when you're doing it by hand. This just saved you that 2 hours. We did it in less than a minute. Add that up.
And they came up with multiple ideas.
Yeah. You have multiple ideas. There are tools now that you can, you can get ChatGPT to write your 10 articles, and then you can schedule them for the next 10 weeks. Your 2 hours that you saved this week, add that up for the whole year. That's 104 hours. That's, more than 2 weeks of work time that you can put to something else. You can take a longer vacation. You can actually, come back into ChatGPT and say, give me ideas on how to improve my business, how to grow my business, how to get more clients, how to respond to reviews on Google, whatever. So there's a whole lot more that ChatGPT can help with. And not just ChatGPT, all tools, right? All the AI tools. Karen, did you have any more demos you wanted to do, or should we?
No. Well, I think I'd like to show them that other tool that we wanted to introduce quickly, if that's okay. So just getting back to this demonstration, Maya's shown you how you can input text, ask it a question just like you do on WhatsApp, and it will respond to you. You can chat to it along those lines. Just ask for what you want and it will respond. The better your requests, they say that you get what you ask for. So, and with if you ask the right questions, you get the right answers. So if you don't ask the right questions, you're not going to get as good an answer. And it's really important to make the request in the right way. But you can make that request in a text form. You can make that request in a voice form. We didn't do it here, but you can upload an image and get it to analyze that image, just like you can upload a document and analyze that document. And report on it and do research for you. There's so much you can do. Custom GPTs, Maya showed you, are kind of additional wrappers over and above that. But the next level on is actually AI tools and applications that are built on top of the language models. And we've got a list for you of some of the kind of more proven ones, established ones here. I'll send a link out to you, but you can see the link here for you as well. But what I'd like to show you today actually is this tool, which I really like. And the reason I want to show you is it's great, but it actually has a lot of those underlying applications within it. So it's like a multi-tool, all for one price. So let me just show you that. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Maya? Can you see Marketing
I can.
Blocks?
Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so this tool is called Marketing Blocks, and
No, I'm not, Karen. I'm still seeing your presentation. I'm not seeing marketing.
Okay, then I'm not sharing my screen. I'm just sharing that window. Let me just get back to it. Oh dear. Sorry about this again. I want to get into my window. Right, I'm just going to share my entire screen, and then you can see it. And I'll go into it.
And in the meantime, I've dropped the link in the chat for the tools that Karen's shared.
Okay, great. Thanks, Maya. Right, so can you see Marketing Blocks now? Yeah, brilliant. Okay, I haven't got time to go through all of this because it is actually really extensive. But as one tool, you can see it has design tools here. It can create a logo. It can create business cards. It's got an image creator here. You can create web pages. It can write a book for you. It can write articles. It can write, blog posts, whatever it is that you want, responses to emails. It can write a story. It can create chatbots for you, and it can upload, it can create social media content in bulk and then post it to your various social media channels, all automatically. It can create videos for you. It can clone your voice. It can create spokesperson videos or normal videos. It can just transcribe videos. It has all these audio noise dubbers. It's got the ability to create e-commerce stores with a checkout page, membership sites, course builders, and image enhancement tools. So you can create images. So you can ask it to create whatever image you want in whatever format you want, and it will do that for you. It also has all these other additional tools which enable you to enhance that. Even this one here, this image anima, well, that one basically gets a static image and makes it move, as you can kind of see in this screen. I don't know if you can see it here, but you can see this image here, and then it gets it to move slightly. So there's a lot that this one tool can do. But what I really wanted to show you is the way it works is you set up a project. And in that project, you give it an outline of your business. So let's say in Maya's example, you're a cleaning business. This is what you do. This is why you do it. But I've set up this project, which is a chiropractor. Okay. Now, hang on a second. This has been open for a while, so hopefully it's just gonna go in there. Oh, hang on, I've got to log in again. Okay, so you're going to set up projects. So you see here on the side, create a project. I'm just going to show you this project, which is a chiropractor. Okay, so this project is a chiropractor, and you can use all these tools and you can actually chat to it. It's got experts you can chat to. Honestly, that it's worth looking at. But in project settings, you set it up, and this is all I gave it. And I said, right, my company's called ChiroCare. I'm a chiropractor in the Delaware area. I hadn't put in anything about the audience. I gave it a brand color, what kind of tone of voice I had, and then I can upload brand images. But this is what I wanted to show you. On the left-hand side, you see it says brand toolkit. Here, based on just that little bit of information I've given it, it's come up with, okay, so you're a chiropractor, family-focused chiropractor. Here's a potential value proposition that you have. This is a potential target audience, what they like, what their likely income is, what they're likely to be doing, the different personas, the psychographics, their lifestyle, their behaviors, the type of things they're interested in, where, I mean, this is a chiropractor, so their pain struggle, but this is basically their challenges. What are their challenges? How could you potentially help them? What have they done in the past that hasn't worked for them? What are their habits? What do they tend to do? And you can really get some insight into your audience. If you know anything about marketing, this is so valuable. And it might not be perfect because I've given, especially in this case, I've given it very little information to come up with that. But you can go in and you can see here, you can edit any of these. If it's slightly off, then update it, put in what's right for you, for your business. And then it basically uses all that knowledge that it's amassed about your business in creating the content that you want, in creating the social media content that you want, in creating all of this. It's taking that knowledge and pulling it together for you, so that it's basically an assistant, your AI assistant. And as I say, I haven't got all the time to show you everything here because it is quite extensive. But they've got a 5-day free trial, so you could just play with it. But if you can see here, you can just chat with it, just like Maya showed you with a Chat GPT. It says chat with me, and then you can just start saying, yep, I'd like you to do this, that, and the other, and off it goes. I've got a link for that as well in that list for you, and if you want to have a play, it's they've got a 5-day free trial, so it's worth doing it because it shows you so many different tools, like the blog, the AI writing tools, the image tools, the video tools. All of that is there, all in the one place. Right, so
the alternative is to go and get individual tools. There are tools out there like Jasper that will do content. There are tools like InVideo that create videos. There are, each individual thing you'd be paying for separately. Exactly. So a tool like Marketing Blocks, there are other tools out there too. It's really useful for someone who's starting and everything in one.
Exactly. But also, if you're starting out, something like that is perfect because it can do a bit of everything. And once you get more refined and you want perhaps more specific results, you might find it doesn't quite meet your needs, and you then move into a tool that is specifically focused on, copywriting, for example, or, video, or whatever it might be. But we've got a list of tools that we think are useful, and we'll add to that list over time. But there are new tools coming out literally every day, and the AI technology is moving at such a pace. But we're very conscious of time, but there are a couple of things that we wanted to let you know in terms of considerations. Maya, do you want to talk about this bit?
Sure. So first thing, as soon as ChatGPT came out, people started saying, sometimes it lies to me. It tells me things that are not true. It makes up stuff. It gives me URLs that don't exist. That was 2 years ago. It's improved a lot. The hallucinations are much fewer, but it's still, think of it as a child who just is trying to please you. It's going to make up stuff if it doesn't know. It doesn't have the self-awareness to say, I don't know. Well, it does in some cases, but usually it will try to tell you what you want to hear. It will give you URLs when they don't exist. So check. It's much less frequent now, but always double check. Another concern, of course, is data privacy. Like, I don't know who it was I was chatting with just a little while ago, but they were asking about, is ChatGPT going to train on my data? Yes, by default, that is the answer. And that's true for most of the platforms, especially on the free tiers. They are always going to be learning from what you're doing. If you go into things like Ideogram or even Sora, the free tier, basically whatever you create is shared immediately with everybody else. So someone can use it, leverage it, copy it. There's no copyrights there or anything. And I think also you can't actually copyright things right now that are created fully by AI. If you interact with it, I think you can, but again, this is all a gray area. So that takes us to the next one, which is copyright and regulations. I think we've all heard that all these big models have been trained on the data on the web, on the books that are out there, and they did it without asking permission. So they're getting sued, and rightfully so, I think, because everything that these humongous models have was trained from stuff that somebody else created. That said, I mean, it's not, you can't put the genie back in the jar. So it's out there. Governments are going to get involved. Courts are going to get involved. They're going to make regulations. For now, it's still the Wild West. Do whatever you want. Just be careful not to blatantly plagiarize. And that's pretty much it. Other than that, keep going.
Sorry.
Enjoy whatever you're finding. Yep,
Yeah.
good. I'm done with that. You can move on to the next.
So, getting started with AI. So we've given you an introduction to what AI is, had a look at ChatGPT and how it can work, how you can upload, you can kind of put those inputs into ChatGPT in so many different formats. And then how ChatGPT has been customized with the customized GPTs, like the Bright Ideas GPT that we'll share with you as well. I think Maya shared the link in the chat already. And then the additional tools like marketing blocks, but you know there are a number of other tools, and obviously we can't go through them all. We might actually have a webinar training just on marketing blocks because it's got so much in it. So really, you've got a lot of ways in which you can get started with AI. You know how to get the ChatGPT free account if you don't already have it. And as we've said before, just play with it, experiment, ask questions. The questions, you know, as you get familiar with it, you know, it can be anything. We're focusing on, okay, the benefits of business because the businesses need to start using this because you can see how quickly it can generate content, how quickly it can answer questions for you, how quickly it can help you get ideas for your business and how to grow it and how to analyze your data to be able to take your business to the next level. And a lot of businesses, well, every business ultimately will be starting to use this very, very soon if they're not using it already. And those businesses that are not using it will struggle to keep up in the months and years to come because AI is here. It's here now and it's moving at such a pace. It's almost as we were talking the other day. It's like a train. The train has left the station and it's motoring. And, you know, a lot of people are struggling, running to try and jump onto that train. Well, it's certainly moving. So it's time to jump onto that train at least and get an understanding of what AI can do for you and what other people are going to make it do for their business. So take a look, have a play, ask questions about anything. You know, if you're planning to visit Japan, ask it to put an itinerary together for your trip or, you know, anything. It has that knowledge about anything and everything. It can be your expert. Take a look at some of the tools that we've got on the list and the link that we've again shared in the chat, but we'll send it out with the replay and we'll send out a copy of those links as well. But have a play with them. Most of them have a free version or a free trial. And they're all pretty inexpensive really for what they can do for you. As Maya said, the time that the AI can free up for you, you know, if you put a price on that, I'm sure all these tools would.
I mean,
sorry,
even if you're getting a social media helper, a VA sitting in the Philippines, you know, who charges, let's say the cheapest one, $3 an hour. Well, if they worked for you for 7 hours, that's 1 day, literally, that would pay for ChatGPT.
Yeah,
so, for a month of ChatGPT.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So, so there you have it. You have many ways to get started, to start playing and start having fun and really exploring it to see what you can do for you and for your business. The really important thing, though, is actually, as I said right at the beginning, the AI brain, the knowledge bank that's behind there has an infinite amount of knowledge, not infinite, but a huge amount of knowledge that you can't possibly comprehend, more than anybody on this planet. but you have to put an input into it. You have to make a request in order to get the output of whatever you want, whether it be an analysis of data, whether it be a blog post, whether it be, the other thing on the voice AI, using the voice, talking to it, you can actually get, if you've got a sales pitch to do, you can practice with the AI tool, with ChatGPT. If you use your phone, you can say, I'd like you to practice with me. I've got a pitch coming up, and I'd like to practice it with you. Maybe you can give me some feedback, and it will do that for you. So there's lots of things that you can do, but if you don't ask the right questions, you don't get the right answers. And that's what our next training is going to be about. In a couple of weeks' time, we're having a training called Mastering AI Prompt Engineering, Mastering AI Prompting. And prompting is basically how you prompt AI to give you a response, how you ask it, how you give it its input and request information from it in order to give you its output. And it's really important to make sure that you do that in the best way to get the best response. And that's what our next training is all about. So do come along to that. Hopefully you found this one of value. This is when our next training is. You've signed up for this one, so you'll get a reminder about the next one, and we hope that we can see you there. I'm very conscious of time, so we've rattled through the end here. We were going to take some Q&As, and are happy to take some Q&A now.
Yeah. Do you folks have? Sorry to talk over Karen. If you've got questions, drop them in the chat. Put up your hand. Let's answer a few at least.
Yeah. I'm just going to stop sharing my screen.
Yeah, one person already had to leave. Bye, Viv. We'll see you next time, hopefully.
That's fine.
Anyone else got questions?
Okay.
No questions. Wow, we must have done an amazing job, Karen.
Good.
Yeah, there was a question someone else shared early on that
Go ahead.
Kotak shared. It said, how do you run a local LLM? Can we do that with ChatGPT?
OpenAI doesn't provide it, but if you go looking for local LLMs, you'll find some. Meta, Facebook, has one called Llama, and you can literally download it, put it on your own server, and start giving it information. Before the release of OpenAI, there was something called Dialogflow. Basically, it was a Google Sheet that worked as the back end. There's also now Pinecone Research that lets you do a little local LLM. So there's all kinds of little tools. Google's your best friend in terms of finding one.
Yeah, and there are lots of tools as well where you can actually use it, and it has got a lot more privacy than ChatGPT using it straight off. A lot of the tools are built out of an API which has some kind of screening on it. So yes, your own local server is, ultimately the best way to go, but you might find that actually you don't need to go to that level. It's something to explore, and I'm sure that we can have a chat with you if you want to know more. Then just reach out to us.
The accuracy of the responses, Mark is asking. I'm concerned with the accuracy of the responses from LLMs versus Google searches. How accurate is Perplexity, and what is it? Basically, Perplexity is a competitor, really, to Google search. Google search in the recent past, especially over the past year, has gotten worse and worse. It's trying to showcase its own AI. So Gemini results are quite often at the top of your search results nowadays. And there's also simultaneously a lot of people creating articles en masse using AI. And it's only recently that Google started clamping down. So the cleanup is still going on. So right now we're in a state of flux. Google search is not the best. Perplexity is arguably better than Google search right now.
Perplexity actually shows you its source for the content it comes up with as well. So you can kind of track that back to probably various websites that will be found on Google. But Perplexity does the analysis for you to try and find the best search results rather than you trawling through hundreds of pages of content that's on Google. Hopefully that has helped. Any more questions?
All right, David says thank you. What other practical business applications would people like to see us present? That, you know, we've said we'll show off marketing blocks. We are going to do a prompting exercise next on February 5th. Anything else you'd like to see? I mean, I am. Go ahead, Karen. Sean?
It's okay. I was just going to say, like, for me, it would be really helpful to understand, or I guess see a breakdown of versions of AI or ways to use AI where I'm being mindful of how not to share information that sets my business apart from my competitors with AI as I'm using that, because that would kind of be my concern. That it would be, you know, learning from the information I'm giving it and then giving it to my competitors.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Everything that it's telling you, it's already learned from your competitors, right? So from people around the world putting out their blogs. The large language models we're looking at, there's very little, two things. One, it's, like I said, typically learning from you, but two, it's also aggregated information. So it's not like they're going to say, you know, go to John's cleaning service and tell me what he's doing. That it's not going to be able to answer at that level. Well, actually it is. Because it'll simply go to your website and see what you've got there. So if it's shared, if it's something you're sharing on the web, people can find it anyway, even with a straight Google search. But if you're brainstorming ideas and you've just said, hey, give me ideas on how to grow, like for John's cleaning service, I want to grow now and get corporate customers. Well, you know, Janet's cleaning service down the road isn't going to know that I asked that. Janet will continue focusing on houses, presumably, while I keep working on my empire building.
There's no confidential information in there. But if you're going to use ChatGPT or to upload some of your, you know, confidential information regarding your business, so for example, maybe some sales reports to analyze, that kind of thing, then that's the area that I would be wary in terms of sharing. Maybe using the team account, getting a team account, because they don't, you know, they don't train on that knowledge. Therefore, you in theory should be able to upload anything and get the same functionality and intelligence that's behind it, but keep your content private. I mean, Maya was talking about, you know, a local version for, you know, if you've got medical records, for example, not sharing medical records online with people's names and stuff like that. That's the kind of content that, you know, you really need to be careful.
If you wanted that level of security, you would need someone who's actually an expert to come and set it up for you and to maintain it for you to make sure that gaps don't appear.
Yeah.
And actually, Karen, maybe what would help folks is if we just did a hands-on come and play with ChatGPT session. We're not teaching anything. Everybody come do your own and ask questions as we go. If there's interest in that, drop a 1 in the chat or, you know, wave at us or something so we'll see. Of course, everyone's got their video off, so waving won't help. I can't see through your screens. Okay, so we got 2 votes yes. All right, so that's something else we could consider. David asked about the use of ChatGPT to generate code. It's actually getting better and better. I'm hearing that Claude is better for writing code right now, right at this instant. But if you can afford it, try out the $200 version, $200 per month version. Apparently, the analysis says that if ChatGPT 4o is the equivalent of an average programmer, the O1 level, I think it's an O1 Pro that's available to the $200 version. It is supposed to be like hiring one of the top 10 programmers in the world. So $200 to hire someone like that, who probably gets a salary of, you know, $500,000 a year or more, is cheap. So if coding is a big deal, yeah, that's where I would suggest, you know, spend $200 for 1 month, try it out. you'll get really good results.
Yeah, but I think that's a good idea though, Maya. It's a good suggestion to actually have a session on coding, how to use it to create your own little, start off with a little, but to understand the coding methodology behind it and how it works. Because I think that would be very useful for a lot of people. So we could definitely look at that.
That in
Excellent.
sometime. So I tend to be more of I want to do arty things, so I run off and create videos and images. We could do workshops on those. There's a lot of tools out there, even with images, you sometimes want to tweak them. Again, it's prompting, right? You've got to get the right prompts and you get results that are really, really fantastic. And the days of, getting 5 arms and 4 noses for an image created, those are gone. OpenAI just released Sora, the video creation, where it actually looks. You can still today tell that an AI video is AI generated, but times are changing so fast. I think in a year we'll all be using AI videos too. So if there's interest in that, we can do walkthroughs of various tools about that too.
Yeah.
What would people prefer? Would you prefer tool-focused trainings or more general ones like this, where we look at a variety of things?
Maybe what we'll do, Maya, is we can send out a little question in response to the with the replay.
Send out a survey. That makes sense, with a few more questions, and you can vote. Yeah. And David says tools. Okay.
Brilliant. Okay. Well, unless there are any more questions, we've run over a bit, and I appreciate your time and being patient with us for a few more minutes. I hope this session has been valuable to you, and that you've got some value out of it. We certainly enjoyed doing it, and we'll probably be running another one of these sessions, if not, on a fairly regular basis, because there seems to be a lot of interest in that. Hopefully
you can click the 3 dots. Click the 3 dots at the top of the chat next to where it says Practical AI Skills. I think you should be able to save the chat if you wanted to save those URLs for later.
Mine doesn't do that.
Keep thinking I've enabled it, and this is not my Zoom. That's your Zoom. Never mind.
But mine doesn't.
But I can do it.
Can you?
Can too. I'll include the links anyway in the follow-up email.
Brilliant. Yes, exactly. But just go away, have fun, play with it, see what you can do, explore the different things that we've introduced to you today. Think about how it could maybe help you in your business and in your life, and ask it.
And if you come up with questions, if you run into things, if you run into obstacles, yes, you can drop us a note, but honestly, just go back to ChatGPT and ask it how to solve it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So when I set goals, if I find myself getting discouraged or if I run into something, I just go right back to ChatGPT and say, hey, I was trying to do this and got sidetracked. Something came up. How can I, be more consistent? So it helps. It honestly does help. It works very well as a coach.
Yeah. Basically, any expert that you might need to call upon, or you would like to call upon, be it a business expert, an advisor, a coach, excuse me, any expert that's using their brain and has intelligence in their brain, ChatGPT will have that intelligence and more. So if you just ask the question, you'll get an answer, and often a really good answer. And hence the reason for our next training, really ask the questions in the right way, in the best way, and you'll get an even better answer. So just play with it and see what it can do for you. Have fun. All right.
Right.
I think we better wrap up there. We've run over a few minutes, but thanks for your time. And
thank you.
We hopefully will see you on the next training. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, thank you.
You can message us on Meetup, and we've also got the website practicalaiforbusiness.co. I'll drop that in.
Yeah, we should put a form on that. I haven't put a form on that. Okay. All right, take care, everybody. We'll wrap up now.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, folks. See you next time. Hopefully, we'll see some of you on the 5th of February. Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Bye. Our pleasure.